originally I'm from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, born and raised. Actually, I was born in Waterloo, Iowa, but raised the majority of my life in Cedar Rapids. Started off, went collegiately, my playing career at St. Francis University in Pennsylvania. After 2 years, transferred to Western Illinois University, and upon graduating, I was still playing a little bit in St. Louis, and started dabbling in coaching at Maryville University, and spent 4 years there. Moved on from there to Alderson Broaddus University in West Virginia as an assistant coach for 2 years. After that, took over back in Iowa at Indian Hills Community College. Spent a couple years there turning that program around. From there, went to Eastern New Mexico for 3 years, and now I'm happy to be here.
Questions?
See, those are some wide-ranging areas. I mean, from Indian Hills, which is, I know, is a fairly small community, and then you go to beautiful downtown
Portales.
And then you end up here. So you're kind of split the middle now.
Yep.
But what all have you kind of taken from everything that you've learned along the way?
I think really it's just getting creative with your resources. I think that's the best education you can have, is going to a small town or going to a smaller school where you have to really stretch things a lot farther, so that when you get to a program or a school that has a lot more, you're well prepared on just what that means and how far you can take it.
So, I mean, you get here, obviously classes aren't in session, but have you started getting ready for practices? And
yeah, I've already got a frame of mind of how we're going to start out. The first week we're going to be in our non-championship segment, so it'll be 8 hours a week that we can work with them that week, 4 with the ball and 4 in the weight room or doing conditioning. So that week we'll kind of ease them into it, but week 2 is when the championship segment opens, and we have 20 hours a week with them, and vacation will be over at that point. So
when will you get started?
January 25th
Okay.
is when our athletes report.
So you haven't, I'm guessing you've met a couple of them, but most of them are gone by the time you got in here. So
yeah, I haven't met any face-to-face, but I've had a couple conversations with a handful of them now, and over the course of the rest of the week we'll continue to reach out and start introducing and getting to know everybody individually.
What do you, it's a strange time for everything, so, we usually play in the fall, and now we're sort of in the middle of winter/spring.
Sure.
You just try to start fresh and...
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just excited to be back out in the field. Coming from New Mexico where the restrictions are very strict, it's all a matter of perspective. My perspective is I'm just happy to be on the field today, We didn't have our athletes back in the fall. We didn't finally bring them back, quote unquote, until beginning of November, so we got 3 weeks to work with the 2 guys that had stuck around all semester. But up until that point, it was a fall where we just didn't have a chance to work with our guys. And the spring was looking like it was going to be small group activities, so just the chance to be out in the field, I think, is exciting. If we play games, that's great. If not, we're going to train and get better and get ready for the fall. So,
what are kind of the first steps, not counting COVID and all this? Like in a normal year, you're taking over a new program. What are kind of your first couple steps coming in?
I think the first thing you do is you lay down expectations and try to get guys to buy into your vision. And that's when okay, all right, who's buying in, who's not, and that helps you move forward with how you need to build your roster for the next year. I think the guys, this is a very unique situation because the program's certainly not broken. The 2 programs that I previously inherited have needed some TLC, to put that mildly, and so here it's really, I think there's a great group of guys that are willing to, that are hungry, that want to buy into that expectation, because I don't think the expectations that I have are going to be that radically different from the previous coach. So it's really just going to be about enforcing those things and moving forward from there.
So
What was-
go ahead.
What was your biggest draw to this job?
Sure. Came up here twice, 2018, 2019, and both times you get off the bus and you're just like, wow, look at this place. Like, the campus is beautiful, the facilities are beautiful, you have the backdrop of the mountains. Being in the Lone Star and playing a lot of other non-conference games against RMAC schools, there's no school that I've gotten off the bus that I've been like, this is incredible, And I think there's a lot that you're like, oh, this is a nice school, but this campus just has an incredible effect on you as a first impression, And so that, I think, is what really piqued my interest. I think the first thing I said when I got off the bus in 2018 is, oh, this would be a great place to work one day. So, yeah,